The second takeaway that I found to be quite impactful from a leadership perspective from the book It's Your Ship was actually a simple test called the newspaper test. And it sounds silly, but it's actually very effective. It's a very quick way, a very efficient and effective way to audit the actions you're about to take and determine whether or not it's a good PR move. And granted, it's inevitable. Sometimes you're going to have to make decisions and take actions that are not going to get the popular vote from the public. Sometimes simply because they don't understand all of the moving parts behind the scenes, and they may not understand exactly what you're trying to achieve or how impactful all the decisions you're making really are, considering all of the parties involved. But it's a good rule of thumb to run your action plan through this simple test in advance, just to be sure. And all you're going to do is, once you've come up with your strategy, once you've come up with your action plan, is you're simply going to ask, if tomorrow morning every single big newspaper in the world were to publish what we had just done, would we be proud of ourselves or would we be disappointed? Now, there are of course going to be situations in which the action plan you take is going to land you the unpopular vote. That comes with being a great leader. That comes with the territory of being on a team with a great leader. You are inevitably going to have to bear the brunt of the load of the unpopular opinion of others when they just don't see the big picture like you might, when they just don't understand all of the moving parts and pieces to the puzzle and how grossly impactful this is to so many different parties. But there are also going to be situations that present themselves where it's going to be very easy to cut corners or maybe not go that extra mile simply because you're pretty confident no one would ever know. And that's the best time to employ the newspaper test, because there's that slim chance that somebody might find out. Somebody might find out that you cut a corner, that you didn't go above and beyond, that you could have done a better job and it was well within your control and you didn't. You dragged your feet. And in those scenarios, the newspaper test is very efficient, very effective. It's a simple question. You have to ask yourself. Run your action plan through. Create a newspaper headline. Your team did X. Would you stand behind it with pride? Answer honestly. And if you wouldn't, good. Go back to the drawing board. Figure out why you wouldn't and what is within your power to do to adjust in that strategy, to adjust in that plan, so that you could stand behind it with pride and confidence if it were to be blasted across the entire globe tomorrow morning. One of my favorite tests and one of the greatest takeaways that I had from this book.